good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are finding me. You'll always find me at the perfect time. I am Jenna Ross with Spiritually Savage Mindset Strategy Coaching. I am a medium, psychic channeler, card reader, magical little fairy, badass, and soul coach and spiritual mentor. Whatever it is that you need, I got you covered. So, I'm going to talk to you today about something that keeps coming up, I feel like, in the collective, in my readings with my clients, especially right now while we're all in transition into newer paradigms and cutting off and purging the things that are not good for us anymore, and letting go of people, places, things, and events and circumstances that no longer serve us, ideas, beliefs, identities, all of those things that no longer serve us right now, and making room. And one of the biggest questions that I get asked all the time is, how do I know the difference between giving up and letting go to move forward? So here's the thing. We as humans view giving up a really weird way. We can be in a job when we're 16 and we don't make enough money to be sustained as a grown up. So we always look at everything in our life as transitional, except relationships. For some reason, we view relationships as forever. When we're little kids, we're like, I'm going to have a best friend. And my best friend, when we grow up, we're going to live next door to each other. And we're going to get married at the same time. We're going to have babies at the same time. We're all going to live like right there in this little community. And we're all going to be together forever and ever and ever. And then we're devastated and confused when we are in the growth process and we change and develop new characteristics or new personalities. And we don't want to be friends anymore. And we say to each other, why don't you still want to be my friends? And your parents say to you, it's a shame that you guys aren't friends anymore because you guys were so close when you were little. We do the same thing with romantic relationships. We act like we should want the same things at 16 that we should want when we're like 40. If you've been in a marriage, like if you get into a marriage like right after high school or during college or something like that, people look so dumbfounded by the fact that you grew out of that relationship over the next 20 years. They go, what a shame you've put all that time into it. Nobody ever says that when you're leaving a job or a situation that's a dead end. Everybody's always like, thank God you got out of that job. Like, who the hell still has the same job that they've had since they were 16? Don't you want to shoot for more? But we look at relationships differently. And that's where a lot of this it comes from, is people go, well, I don't want to give up. I've had this plan my whole life. I've had all these plans, and we had these plans to work together, buy a house, get married, buy a house, have babies, have a future together, be old and sit on the porch and retire together, whatever it is. And I am following through with this plan, even though this is not the person I want to do it with anymore. Even though I don't even think it's possible to do it with this person anymore. And we stick to the plan. Why? Because we've been working on it for 5 years. We've been working on it for 10 years. We've been working on it for 20 years. We've been working on it for 30 years. And we don't realize that leaving that situation is not giving up. Staying in that situation is giving up. Because if you still have that thing inside of you that wants something different for your relationship, that wants a different person, that says inside there's more than this out there for me, then giving up is staying in that, because you're giving up on you. You're giving up on your wants, your dreams, your desires. Okay? That's what giving up is when you're giving up on you. Do you understand? That is the ultimate giving up. Is not finding a problem or not finding a solution to whatever issue that you're having, whatever feeling that you're having inside, and not wanting to look into it because you're afraid that the outcome is that you won't be in this relationship anymore. You have no idea how many people come to me and want to coach as couples. They go, do you do couples coaching? Because we tried couples therapy and it didn't work, or we want to do couples therapy, but we don't really like the therapy model. So do you coach couples? And I say, I will coach couples, but I coach you separately. Do you know why? Because we cannot heal for the relationship. You cannot come into a healing situation and say, I'm going to heal for this outcome. Why? Because what happens is you start to heal and you realize that the healing might take you away from the outcome that you are planning or that you are set on, and you start to slant your healing so that it stays within that bounds. And what happens is you don't really heal. You just patch it. You just lose weight so you can fit in that bathing suit. Then you go back to your old ways. And you have to heal no matter what. You have to release the outcome and say, I'm going to heal this no matter where it takes me. Because the universe is never going to have me heal to give me something that's not worthy of me. And here's the problem. This person might be what the unhealed you holds on to keep you unhealed. Okay? It's your excuse. It's your safety net. It's your comfort zone. It's your safe place to keep you safe from actually healing and looking into what you need to look into and really change about yourself, really solve about yourself, really grow, and the lesson you need to learn. And so what happens is we start to heal and then we go, stop, I gotta stop. And then what happens is you're still stuck in the same situation, but you're more discontent because you had that awakening moment where you knew that if you healed, the healed you wanted so much more than this. And here's the thing. You don't have to be in a shit relationship. This person does not have to beat you or abuse you or be a narcissist or verbally abuse you or anything. They can be amazing people. They can just not be people for you. We always, for some reason, we always think we have to have this reason that we shouldn't want to be here. We go, oh my God, but this person checks all the boxes. They're everything that I wanted on paper. I had one of those relationships. It was not that this person abused me or ignored me or anything. They just weren't what my soul wanted. They weren't what was for me in this life. He's an amazing person, but guess what? Me staying here is keeping him from what is meant for him too. So for me, that was selfishness. You know what I mean? I wasn't being selfish and wanting to leave and hurting him. I was hurting him by staying. That's the way I looked at it. Was like, how selfish am I that this person is amazing and there's somebody out there that loves them and appreciates them and is going to be their perfect person, and I'm not that person and I'm keeping them from that. I'm hurting him that way by staying. So for me, letting go and moving forward is creating a solution to the problem. When you stay and just succumb and say, I'm giving up on me and my dreams and what I want, and I'm telling myself that that's not possible anymore. That's not possible because of finances. That's not possible because we have children. That's not possible because I don't want to rock the boat. That's not possible because I don't want to hurt this person. That's not possible because I don't think this person can survive without me. That's not possible because it will hurt this other person. How selfish are you? And not only that, how arrogant are you? That you feel like this person cannot survive without you. That's arrogance. Just so you know. It's also keeping keeping the person that you're with from what's meant for them. And that's arrogance. And it's stealing. It's you stealing from somebody and manipulating the situation so that they don't have what's meant for them. And they may not even know. They may think that you are the person for them. But if you know inside that you long for more, then the universe has told you, and you're the person that's supposed to implement that change. And the universe will take care of them. But when the universe starts to grow that seed, that's when you're supposed to go. Why? Because these other things you listed, children, finances, no support, all this other stuff, the universe has solutions for that. So you're supposed to go when the universe nudges you. Because if you don't go, then it turns into a train wreck. It turns into a toxic situation. It turns into a really damaging situation for everyone. You know, it grows more discontent because you're aware of the discontent. And it just grows more discontent. It affects every area of your life, and your finances start tanking, and your relationship gets worse, and your children start to realize that you're the problem. They start to see it, and children are not stupid. They see it, and they don't. I coach a lot of people now who say, I wish my parents had just gotten a divorce. But they said, now they're saying they stayed together for the children. Well, that makes me feel like shit, because now I feel like I kept my parents in a bad situation. It also translates into people not wanting to have children because they feel like they have to give up everything they want if they have children. I can't leave a relationship because even if I'm really unhappy, because what will the children think? Or how does that hurt the children? I don't want them to come up in a broken home. I'm going to tell you this. Growing up with a single parent or a timeshare situation with two happy parents or even one happy parent is way better than living in a toxic relationship that teaches them to continue that pattern. We are generational curse breakers. We are not generational curse continuers. Okay? And like I gave this analogy to a client earlier where I told him, we don't view things as giving up when we know that we're on the wrong path, except in relationships. So we go, oh my God, I've been in this relationship forever, and I'm looking for a really happy, healthy relationship. And this is the relationship that I've been in for 10 years. So I'm going to make this relationship a happy, healthy relationship. And we are digging a hole. We're digging a hole. We're digging a hole. And at some point, we realize nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. But we keep digging. We keep digging. Now we're exhausted and we're covered in dirt. And we've messed up the entire yard. Everything is messy now. Okay? And then somebody shouts at us, hey, it's not over there. It's over here. So if you're really looking for something, do you keep digging in that spot? Or do you say, well, hell, now I know it's over there, so I'm going to go dig over there. We never look at if you left that hole and went over and knew where the thing was. We don't say you gave up on that hole. You didn't give up on digging that hole. You've now found out that what you were looking for was in another spot. You continuing to dig in that same hole is not smart. You're not going to find what you want. And as self-aware, awake human beings, we got to stop digging in the same hole. Now that we know that what we want is not there. That is not giving up, leaving the hole and going to find the other place where what you want is. That is called growth. That is called change. If you want a particular job and you have this other job, you work at this other job until this other job becomes available to you through education or working your way up. That's how life is. Your relationships when you are young train you for relationships later on. They are not just for you to harbor the hurt and continue these toxic cycles. You are supposed to learn the lesson as training and move on with the information that you now have in the next job. I took job skills from so many different other jobs. I took from so many other different jobs. I worked a lot of different jobs. And what it did was it gave me critical thinking skills and it gave me self awareness, and I learned to do it myself. I learned to come up with solutions, out of the box solutions. And it translated to my relationships too, because I learned that relationships, it doesn't matter if they're for the next 5 minutes or they're for the next 5 years or they're for a lifetime. You appreciate them for what they are now, and you let them go before they become hurtful and toxic. You go, you know what? I am incredibly grateful for what this was and for what it is now, but I know that this is not forever. And I didn't try to fit people into my expectations. I went, you know what? This person doesn't want this in their life. They're amazing to be with right now, and I really enjoy them, and I will enjoy them. And when I move on, or when they move on, I'll be sad about it, but I'm not going to take it as a personal affront. I'm going to thank the universe for allowing them to be in my life and for them to teach me the lessons that they learned, the lessons that I learned through them, or to, just take the information that I got from this situation, or the enjoyment and joy that I got from this situation, and I'm going to take it on into my next circumstance. And that's the way we got to stop doing it. We got to stop pointing our situations at other people and saying they hurt me. Nobody can hurt you but you. Okay? It's okay to have standards, and with your standards come boundaries, and this is how you're going to treat me. But when people continue to act a certain way, we can't decide that we want a circumstance, okay? I want this circumstance, and then put that person in there and expect them to fulfill it. Okay, I went on a date with a guy from a dating app, and he, he was okay and he was cute, and I've decided I want to date him. But these are the things I want. But he doesn't want those things. Okay? And I've decided now that this is the person that I want. So now I'm going to alter my plan to be with him, or I'm going to try to force him to alter his plan to be with me. That's not how this works, okay? You find the person you're meant to be with. The more you try to change somebody, the more that you expect them to fulfill your expectations and try to get them to change or to be somebody they're not, or to be somebody that you want. Here's the thing, if you want somebody to change, you don't want them. You hear me? If you want somebody, it's not that you don't want the best for them, but if you want somebody to change, then you don't want them. You want what you want them to be. And it doesn't matter if you feel like the change is better for them or not. You don't get to determine what's best for other people's lives. That's not your role. Okay? You don't get to control other people's lives. You don't get to determine what is best for other people's lives. You listen to your soul and you follow your path, and you let other people listen to their soul and follow their path. And if you guys' path converges and you get to go together, then that's amazing. And you're thankful every single day for the days that you get to spend together and the times that you get to spend together, and you cherish it. But the second that you start obsessing over what they're not doing, what they're not giving you, how you're unfulfilled, you're doing nothing but pouring into the relationship what they're not doing, what they're not fulfilling, and how you're unfulfilled, and you're sowing seeds of discord. So it is your job to always look after you and to give yourself where your soul is leading. I love my son's father. He's amazing and he's a great person. But when I knew I wasn't supposed to be there anymore, I was very outspoken about it. And I said, I'm going to pursue this path to heal this trauma that I had years ago. And he said, where does this lead? And I said, I don't know, but I know not here. And I want you to go find what you're meant to have, because I know this is not what I'm meant to have. And we had adult conversations. And sure, it hurt. It hurt both of us. And we worked through it separately and together. And we co-parent. And we still have businesses together. We still live in the same house, in different rooms. And so it can be done, but you have to be a self-aware human, and you have to be open, honest, vulnerable, and completely transparent about your feelings and your emotions. And it doesn't matter how the other person takes it. You control how you communicate, and they control their reactions and feelings. Okay? It's not your job to not hurt people. It's not your job to worry about how they're going to take something. You be completely honest, and then let their healing take them where their healing takes them. But by not being honest, by trying to control, all you are doing is trying to, by protecting them, all you're doing is trying to control them and the outcome. And you're also trying to keep yourself from being uncomfortable, because here's the thing, you're stealing other people's right to a reaction and to knowledge about what's going on in their own situation. You're robbing them of their own feelings because their reaction might make you uncomfortable. And that's not okay. And we need to love each other more than that. And if you truly love somebody, you want to be able to be honest with them, even if it hurts them, because in the long run, you're hurting them less by not lying and by letting them start the healing process. By just phoning it in and helping create a toxic situation and now continuing generational issues that are going to damage children later on in the long run, and damage you guys financially, and damage you guys, you know, and the way you look. We're so worried about how we look to other people, aren't we? If we spent half the time focusing on what makes us happy instead of half the time focusing on making other people believe that we're happy and our lives are happy, we actually would be happy. Because the only way to make yourself happy is to make yourself happy today. You know how this is exactly how you create a happy future. Okay, you can't plan to be happy in the future. You have to be happy today and do what makes yourself happy today. And then tomorrow, you have to do what makes yourself happy tomorrow. And if the things that made you happy today change, you have to be open and honest with it and say, you know what, this doesn't make me happy anymore. And by making yourself happy every day, that guarantees a happy future, because you have taught yourself happiness and contentment and self-care and caring about what you think and your emotions and your feelings. It is the ultimate self-love and the ultimate self-care to make yourself happy today. Because today turns into tomorrow, which turns into tomorrow, which turns into 5 years from now, which turns into 10 years from now, which turns into you being 80 years old on your deathbed, but happy as fuck because you were happy every single day of your life. You can still be happy in really rough circumstances. You can still be happy in really hard places and going through really hard things. You know why? Because you recognize that they're necessary to get you to where you need to go and to create the lessons that you need. I look at everything with curiosity. I don't look at anything as good or bad, just necessary. When really bad shit happens to me in my life, I go, I wonder where this is leading. Because something amazing always comes out of something tragic. And so I always go through everything with curiosity. And I recognize that me being angry about it or looking at it as bad makes me resist it and makes me not want to go through it. Whereas I look at everything with curiosity, whether it's good or bad, I lean into it and I go, well, this is what we're doing now. So I wonder where this goes. And I lean into it with the most amazing, embracing energy. And it helps the solution flow. And it keeps me from resisting the emotions that come up. When the emotions come up, I go, and I deal with them. I don't press them down. I don't try to ignore them. I don't try to deny them. I process them. And I find trusted people to talk me through that. And so if you're in a situation where you feel like you're giving up, understand that the only giving up is giving up on you. And we don't ever want to do that. Okay? So if staying in this situation is you giving up your dream, you giving up what you thought your life was going to be or what you want your life to be, or you giving up happiness or peace or contentment or having the things that you want to have in your life, then it's time to let go and move on. Okay? So I hope that this helped some of you clarify and clear up, because that's what I want to do in these videos. And thank you for watching, and I thank the new subscribers, and I thank the people that are sharing these videos. This is a new YouTube channel, and I'm hoping to grow it over the next couple of months and really be here for some of the awakening process for a lot of you, and to help you through and reframe some of the things so that you can really survive awakening, because I had amazing mentors, and I hope that I can help some of you to find that. And again, if you want private card readings, or if you need coaching, my link is in the description below, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a great night.